So guess who found their way back to the Goodwill Bins? This lady. Good morning, everybody. So I got up really early today and made it to the Goodwill Bin. So I am back. Last time I was here, I filled an entire cart after 4 hours. So hopefully my luck today is like last time. So I'm always on the hunt for beakers, and this bin has tons of them and test tubes. So I'm gonna get all of these. You guys, I think it's meant to be. I love Andi. If only it was Andi I. But do I need it still? I feel like I still need it, even though it's a misspelling of my name, because most people address me as A-N-D-Y. So I think this is fate, me finding it. Hello, weird friend. Someone tatted up this porcelain doll. That is hysterical. Cute little frame. I am basically at the stage right now where I just put anything and everything in my cart that looks interesting. Little frames, like vintage frames right now, are selling really well in booths. So anytime I can find little ones, I pick them up. More picture frames, but they seem newer and not very exciting. A lot of mugs. Oh, these are already pre-lit. How nice to let us know they work. Mostly just kitchen stuff that's not very exciting. So this is a pretty cool find. It's one of those collapsible artist easels. I don't know if all the pieces are there. I think this might be part of it too. Let me see. Yeah, I think that's actually like the palette. So this is the palette. And maybe that's where you put the paints. Okay, this is just gonna go in the cart and we'll decide later. You guys know I love original art. So this guy's just blank. Let's see what we have here today. Well, that was unexpected. Pipes. Wow. They're extremely well done. But the subject matter is a very interesting choice. Like pipes. Were they like a plumber artist? I don't know how I feel about them. You guys know I love weird art, so part of me is like, yes, you have to have these. But also, I think if I came home with them, my husband would be like, why? So this one, on the other hand, I think I can get on board with, because for Halloween, this would be amazing to have a skeleton painting on the wall. So absolutely. A couple more interesting pieces of art. This little bunny rabbit, which I think is good enough to pick up. This piece looks actually proper vintage. It's painted on board. The felt color is right. The brown, it's raised. Okay, I guess it's technically unfinished because this is numbered. So I won't be picking it up. But if it was finished, it would be really interesting because I love this raised texture that they were doing. So this lamp is actually in really good shape. It came from a Goodwill store. I'm assuming it works. The shade, of course, is destroyed on it, but you could always get a new one. But you guys know I just do not like picking up lamps. I hate it. So I'll leave it for someone else. My first piece of crewel. It looks like one of those little, oh yeah, Hummel. Looks like one of the Hummel statues. It's very sweet. It needs a frame, and I don't have an oval one, so I'll probably leave that behind. I wish whatever was hanging on this hook in this frame was still here. I think it would have been pretty cool. This carrot is so cute. I love stuffies, I feel like, as much as my son. I just think they're all so fun. Oh my gosh, I think this one's a purse. How adorable is that? I do not need to buy a stuffy from the bins, nor one that has a hole, but it is a bright spot in this bin of chaos. So this is kind of cool. It is a fine art piece on metal. So fine art photograph on metal. I feel like it's very seasonally appropriate. Here's another one of these frames. So I'm thinking someone may have taken what was in the center of them because no one wants to mess around with this giant frame and this strange fabric. So that's one thing kind of nice about the bins, is you can pick and choose what you want from the composition. So if you don't want something, you can just take it off and leave it for the next person. So we get a lot of Target decor in our Goodwill stores. And these are just boxes and boxes of these pet bandanas that they didn't end up selling in our Goodwill stores either. So there's just so many of them. So this would have been a really pretty gaming set, but it's in pretty rough shape, unfortunately. So leaving this behind. A pretty textile. It's it's a hammock. That's kind of cool. I need to get a stand to use it. It's really pretty color. So we are super fans of Legos in our house. I love them. My son loves them. My husband. So I feel like this has to come home. It's a giant Lego head. So with my cart full of random stuff, I'm going to make my way to the books, which I have not gone to yet. So when I go through the books, I'm mostly looking for ones that would be good for decorating, like cool vintage ones with nice spines and good like patina on them. I'm always looking for art books, old vintage decorating books, really anything that catches my eye. I do not want to become a bookseller like the folks that do the scanning and have like whole libraries of pieces that they list online. That is not me. But I do love to find really nice coffee table books and art books. So this is an example of an old decorating book. It's funny because it's a book about color in interiors, although most of the book is in black and white, which I think is so funny. I know black and white printing was very expensive back then, but you'd think they would make an exception and make a book on color be totally in color. But this is the type of book that is so interesting to pick up because it talks about all of the different interior design trends when this was written, which was, let's see when this was written, in 1968. So I think I'm gonna put this in my cart and kind of decide later. And then this book next to it is just really interesting looking. So for styling, this is one of those books that I like to pick up. Okay, so check-in time. So I have done most of the bins, like the home decor ones and the books. I usually don't go through the clothes unless there's like a big lull. So they're going to start wheeling out the new bins. So now is a good time to go through my cart and see if there's anything I want to put back. I feel like there's quite a few things that I just do not need. So let's start with the keepers for now. So this really fun, bright, and colorful graffiti style painting, I feel like is a yes for now. This cute bunny painting is a yes. It's adorable. I sell like random pieces of art like this all day long in my booth because I price them really inexpensively and they're just like a fun impulse buy. This book I just thought was really cool. I loved the printed exterior, so I feel like that is a yes for now. This, I don't know. I'm not like super excited about it, so I think this is gonna go into the no. This is a yes for Halloween next year. I know that's a very strange pickup. And this butterfly, I was hoping I would find its mates because I think this is part of one of those vintage butterfly displays, but I couldn't find any more of them. So I don't think I'm gonna pick up that guy. So these beakers and test tubes are a definite yes. Test tubes in particular because I find a lot of myrtle wood vases that are of course wood and they are missing their test tube to make them waterproof. So yes to these. I put them all in this for now because I wanted to corral them and not have them roll around in my cart. I feel like this has to be a yes. This guy is a yes. You always find these silly things at the bins. This is a Dala inspired horse and I don't know. I feel like I could even paint on it. Will I do that? Probably not. So I'm gonna hold on to him for now. Probably will give him up in the end. A few picture frames, little ones. This art print I picked up when I first got here. And it's missing the glass. It's okay. It's not super exciting. So I think I may put this back too. I think if it had its glass, I'd be more inclined to pick it up. Maybe it didn't actually have glass in the beginning. I'm like feeling around on the lip. So maybe it intentionally didn't. It just feels really cheap. I don't know how to explain it. Like maybe it doesn't come through on camera, but in person it feels kind of cheap. So I'm gonna let someone else have it. So I just saw that someone had a few more of those butterflies in their cart. So I'm gonna go grab the one that I put back and deposit it in their cart for them because they might want more. I can't believe it. This is the second one of these I have found in a week. That's crazy. So he's missing one of his eyeballs, but I feel like I could easily paint it on for him. So this guy is coming home. This is kind of cute. Someone must have put it back because it wasn't here when I first went through this bin. It's in largely good shape, although it's starting to fray right there. So I think I'll pass. It's such a bummer that this tray is so rusted because it would have been so pretty when it was new. So they just took a bunch of bins, so we're actually going to do our first rotation now, like the start of the rotation. So I'm really excited because they took clothing and decor, which I'm hoping that means they're going to replace with the same things, because usually they start with clothing, at least when I've been here, and I have to wait even longer for the decor bins to come out. So I'm hoping that they're wheeling out some new decor. The new home decor bins have been brought out. We're just waiting for the last of them. There's one more, so we're all looking to see which bin we want to start in. I came over to this one because of these adorable crocheted hangers. Look at how colorful and sweet they are. They're very dusty, so I probably won't get them. But they're lovely, especially this one with the little flowers. My childhood is basically in this bin. This is my favorite Disney movie, Mulan. There's so many that I remember watching as a kid. Ice Age. Wow, it's really fun. Oh my gosh, French Kiss. This was such a good movie. If my son was younger, I would be picking up all of these sensory cubes and boards. They're so colorful and they've been in good shape. It just breaks my heart thinking that if no one gets this today, it's headed back into the abyss. So I went through all the bins and unfortunately nothing jumped out at me. So that was a bust. But you can't win in every bin rotation, I have found. So fingers crossed the next one produces something good. So you know I'm always looking for the tortoiseshell bamboo style pieces. This planter is nice, but I don't have it in me to peel all this stuff out. It's a non-starter for me, unfortunately. But it's in really good shape otherwise. These are the type of things that are kind of handy to find at the bins because you don't want to necessarily buy them new. But it would be great for organizing all my thrifted finds in my trunk. So checking in on some of the stuff that I passed up on. No one else wanted it, so it's probably a good sign that I didn't grab it. It's an art piece I didn't see. This one is very unusual. I don't love the color palette, so that's a pass. Oh my gosh, I just walked to the back and there's a cute little owl right there, not sure why, in the bike area. This was a game that we played a lot in the pandemic. I don't know where the actual game is, but we really liked it. This is pretty. Christmas stuff is something I'm on the hunt for. Looks like it might actually be silver plated, so it probably could be shined up. So I think I'll add this in the cart. God bless whoever has the stamina to go through all of these cards. Wow. This shelf is actually quite sweet. Like in a kitchen with your spices or in a bathroom. It's not in great shape though. It's a little dirty, buckling, broken, which is a bummer because that would have been a fun find. So the lull between bins being rotated is definitely longer this time than the last time I was here. Last time it went really quick, which I think might have been unusual. So I'm like really antsy. I'm like, can we just bring out some new things? Because I need to be done probably in the next like hour or so. I really need to head home. I gotta pack some orders. I have another one-on-one call today, so I have a lot to do outside of this. So I'm hoping they get them out soon. They made the announcement probably 20 minutes ago warning us that they were gonna come out. So something is snagging them in the back. This book is actually quite amazing because it has all these famous works and who they are by. So in terms of an education standpoint, this would be a phenomenal read. Wow. Okay, I think I may have to get this just for my own reference. So they just got finished doing another rotation. It was mostly books and DVDs, which I was kind of bummed about. And then some clothing, which I don't usually look through unless I'm desperate for something to do while I wait. The book people, they're intense. People here, they're looking for books to resell books. I don't mess with them. They are very organized. They are very strategic and they do not give you an inch in the bins. So I didn't mess with them until they were done. So I got like one more book. But the rotations are really slow today, a lot slower than normal, and the bins are not as full. And I was confirming that with some other people that I was meeting while I was waiting. So I think I gotta call it today. So I think we're gonna call it here, and then I may go to a few thrift stores on the way home. So I'm walking into Value Village. I haven't been here in like a month, which is crazy because it's one of my very favorite thrift stores in this area. So hopefully it's good to me today. Some pretty glass things right off the bat. This is actually really cool. It's giving me like specimen vibes, and this is really pretty too. So I wonder if someone put them back because they're right next to each other. This statue is really pretty. It's resin, so I'll probably pass on it, but it is stamped. It's $6.99. I'm not sure what this is, but I kind of dig it because the swirls on it are really neat. Is this natural to the stone, or did someone do that? I can't tell. It looks like it's polished. It is $5.99. Some pretty Wedgwood pieces. I love this pink one, and this one is nice too. They're priced appropriately, so I'm gonna put them in my cart and decide later. Now this is a hand I do not have. It is hot pink. It doesn't really match my decor. I mean, I have a lot of pink, but I don't usually have like hot fluorescent pink. So I'll leave it behind, but it's really hard for me to leave a hand at the thrift store because I collect them. A lot of people ask me if I pick up these brass trays. They're really lightweight. They can hang on the wall, and I don't. Sometimes they have scenes like this. I've never felt like there was much of a buyer base for them. You guys can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I've always kind of held off buying them because they just don't seem to be as unique as the ones that are like from India, which are really solid and etched. I got excited thinking this might be a Florentine piece, but it is plastic. This is a pretty handmade leaf. I like the colors. I don't think I'm gonna grab it. Well, $7.99 is a little steep, but also we are basically done with fall as of next week because Thanksgiving is right around the corner, so passing on that. This jewelry box is really beautiful and it's in great shape. It's $4.99. Let's see if the music works. It does. Even the inside is pretty clean. I just don't know if I want to sell music boxes. I always struggle with them because part of me really likes them because when I was little, of course, I really wanted one, but I just don't know how well they sell. So this is the smallest tambour organizer I have ever come across. It's teeny tiny. It's $4.99. The color on it is a little off. Usually they're darker, like more of a teak color. This one is made in Thailand. So I don't know. I don't know if it's worth picking up. They can do really well. They used to organize like discs and cassettes and things. This is a good find. These camping stools always seem to have a buyer. And they just kind of fold up and then they fold down. Okay, I can't do it with one hand. I'll have to show you in a second. So this is what it looks like when it's folded into the stool. It's $7.99, which is a little more than I'd like to spend, but it's in pretty good shape. So it's going in the cart. Well, here's something that I think is meant to look like Wedgwood, but they did not quite nail it. It has been ages since I found a basket worth picking up at a thrift store. I just don't see very many good ones lately. Just found a new cart. There's some brass, although I don't typically pick up the ones with the loops. I just don't think they sell as well as like the taller ones. And in general, I'm not really picking up brass candlestick holders as much anymore. I feel like they're slowing down, and everyone that I talked to has said the same. This is kind of cute, but it's, I think, only a music box. So let me see if I can. Yep, only a music box. Well, that's a bummer. That would have been a cute, just decorative box to put stuff in. Love the packaging on these because those two think they're awesome because they're wearing these headphones when really they look like they're going to be directing an airplane at the airport. Hello Floral Couch. Something I probably will never buy in my lifetime, but I can appreciate a really nice one. This is in great shape. Oh my gosh. $20.99. Wow. It's in really good condition. I mean, it's broken down a little bit and it has a little bit of stuff here, but it seems like it's going to be pretty comfortable still to sit on. Someone's going to want this. This is a weird stool. So it's, I don't think it's actually brass. I think it's metal that's been painted gold and it's been worn here. This is not leather. It's faux. It's kind of a neat looking stool, but I don't want to mess around with having to clean it up and replace that. The store has some really interesting pieces today. I like this one because of all the carvings there and just the general shape of it. I mean, it's in terrible condition. Like, look at this. It would totally need to be redone. But what a fun project piece for someone. This piece is interesting because it has the very rustic planks as the top and then a minimalist metal frame. I don't think it's necessarily very old unless the hardware has been replaced, and that could be the case, and that's why it's kind of throwing me because it's definitely rusting down there. But wow, that's a really cool piece. This is a sweet piece. Friends Forever. I think it's actually, yeah, it's handmade, $2.99. The frame and the mat are sad. So it kind of looks a little lackluster to me. The message is really nice. I just found this art piece, which I think is actually really well done and fun. It's like little mushrooms hiding behind the trees, but it's $14.99. That seems a little high. So I just pulled these cutie pies off the shelf. They're plaster, and they're kind of like 3D. The center of the birds are indented. I'm not going to get them, but there's another shopper here who said that she actually found some a few days ago. So I said, well, do you want them? And so I'm going to give them to her. So we're back home in my studio space. It's a few days later, and I just wanted to end with 2 announcements. First one is everything that you saw in this video is actually going to go to my booth rather than online. So there are actually no Etsy listings this time, which I know is unusual. So usually I link stuff down below, but each of these pieces, because it is the big holiday shopping season, I decided to take them straight to my booth. And the other announcement is I will be co-hosting a holiday reseller meetup on December 10th. It's a Wednesday. I'll pop the information on the screen. If you're a reseller in the area and want to join us, please, by all means, stop by. It's more like open house style. It's from 6 to 9, so you can come when you can, pop in and say hello, have dinner, have a drink, whatever you want to do. So it's very casual. It's really fun. We do it every year, and it's a really great time. So information on the screen and also down below. Thank you so much for shopping with me today, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Take care.